That superannuation story on any other day would dominate for days, if not weeks, allowing early access. The Treasurer says it's the people's money. They need it now more than ever, Ash.
Oh, absolutely. And look, that comes with a lot of concerns as well, of course. We know that superannuation is so important. We're looking here at more retirees broadly also being able to draw down a minimum of 2% of super balances in the next 2 years. There are these concerns, though, about allowing people to touch superannuation. We know superannuation balances have been massively impacted by the pandemic already. I just want to say on this shutdown issue, Kieran, I just think that this is such a bad sign politically that you've just had the Prime Minister in Canberra making these huge stimulus announcements, and now we're about to see the New South Wales Premier come out with her own major announcement, half an hour or so after the Prime Minister's just held that news conference. It seems like they're not on the same page. This is a Liberal Premier in New South Wales, Scott Morrison's home state. I think everybody had a real confidence boost when we saw the creation of the National Cabinet, when we've seen the state premiers, the ministers all on the same page and speaking with one voice. As soon as you start seeing different states and territories doing their own thing, I think that really does damage confidence right around the country. When it comes to the non-essential travel situation, we had the announcement today, which is huge, that non-essential travel in Australia should be cancelled. There will be exceptions on compassionate grounds, on workforce travel as needed. Tasmania has already pointed out it effectively has a moat. WA, here we've got the Nullarbor, very senior doctors in this state, including the President of the AMA here, have been pressuring the McGowan government to use it to try and delay the spread. I can reveal today the WA government is now actively considering further border restrictions on top of the ones that the Prime Minister just talked about there and about non-essential travel. My understanding is that from government sources this morning that the details of that could be announced as soon as today. The WA Premier also holding a news conference this afternoon. Each state has their own considerations, right? WA, the important thing is the state needs to have certainty around medical supplies, food supplies, also the resources sector, the workforce there, hugely important. The WA mining industry, the engine room essentially of Australia's economy. We need workers to still come in from over east as needed. The state government's been really working very closely with those in the mining industry in recent days to secure that work. But it just shows you how quickly things change, because 3 days ago I was in discussions with sources from the WA government about this, and they were saying no plans to close WA borders, no advice that that's medically necessary. 3 days on, all non-essential travel around the country should be avoided, and further regulations looking like they'll be announced this afternoon, at least here in WA, and South Australia is looking at the same thing as well.